Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to another Sunday morning miracle. One sec, I think I'm gonna have to sneeze in here. Wait. Nope, just kidding. All right, so we are on chapter 18, section 7, and this section is called I Need Do Nothing. It's somewhat of a challenging chapter for a lot of people studying the course, because it's, when we think about doing something, we only think about the actions that we have to take, and we think about, well, if we do nothing, then something, there's a I guess consequence for doing nothing, right? And this is what the course says: your mind makes up what you think is best. So as we learn and study A Course in Miracles, it's really about how do we not interfere, right? How do we not interfere with the flow of life, the flow of the course of the universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to open up here with just a quick prayer for us. Let me just let some people into the room. Okay, everybody here. Okay, so welcoming ourselves to the present moment, to the here and now. Taking a couple breaths in as you invite in stillness and inviting in calm and tranquility and peace in your heart and in your mind. That there is nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing that has to be done in this moment. You're safe. You're safe where you are. And just in this moment, the Course talks about the holy instant. All healing and all awakening happens in an instant. And so we ask Spirit, God, guide us in this gathering today as we share truths, as we gather to remember, and we let go of our own agenda, our own attachment to any outcomes that we may think we want as a result of being on this call here. We give up the need to look good. We give up control. We give up the need to even understand. Guide us today and teach us the difference between action and interference. So that we may live with more clarity and we may move with more confidence and be more courageous. Remove anything that is in the way of clarity for us. Anything that's keeping us from seeing with more faith and more trust. Guide us in our listening, guide us in our speaking. May we be an empty vessel to receive wisdom from the teachings of the Course. And may we be present enough to the downloads that are wanting to come through, to the messages that are wanting to come through in this collective. so that we may bring more love and more peace into our relationships, and that today will be a great day. Amen. Aho. All right. So, welcome everybody. And as people probably continue to join us, we're going to just get started on chapter 18, section 7, and discuss what this I need do nothing means. And sometimes when I'm flipping through the course, and we end up in the section where I have so many things underlined, I feel like it would be appropriate to start by reading this section and then opening up the conversation. My invitation for you here is to at least do your best to presence yourselves to the words that are coming through. We don't need to analyze anything. This is this part of I need do nothing. I don't have to understand it. Actually, the recognition that you do not need to understand before peace and wisdom comes, that's the prerequisite. The prerequisite to a acquisition of knowledge and peace is to understand that or is to recognize that your need for understanding does not play a part. How interesting. It's really against what the ego likes to hear. You know, the recognition that my need to understand, like I don't need to understand before I can attain peace. That's interesting. So I'm going to invite you into that, right? Don't overthink it. Don't overthink that in this moment either, but just bring yourself to the present moment. You are here by divine design. Divine design. So many pieces of the puzzle, so many yeses and nos throughout our lifetime, throughout all of the history of this world, this material world, had to happen specifically just so that we can end up here together to have this conversation. Literally, every moment of our lives is just that miraculous. You know, if we trace it all the way back, we can go all the way back to when the dinosaurs were here, and then this happens and that happens, to the Big Bang. Millions and millions and millions of years of things happening so that we could be on this call together, having this exact conversation. How interesting. You know, if we see it like that. How grand it is that we can even gather here like this. Right? Zoom had to be created. iPhones, computers. So many things working together just for us to sit here on this call to discuss today's conversation of I need do nothing in the Course of Miracles. And somehow you had to end up here too. You had to say yeses. You had to say no to some things and say yes to other things so that you could be here on this call. Wow. Just wow, wow, wow. And so let's present ourselves to this section. It's not a long read, but I've underlined almost everything in this section, so it must somehow have inspired me greatly. So we'll start by reading this, and let's just close our eyes for a second and empty ourselves so that we may receive whatever is on your mind, whatever existed before this moment. With 2 breaths through the nose, out the mouth, we are going to just remove them. We're going to suspend them. Okay. So we are here in I Need Do Nothing. Chapter 18, Section 7. You still have too much faith in the body as a source of strength. What plans do you make that do not involve its comfort or protection or enjoyment in some way. This makes the body an end, not a means in your interpretation, and this always means you will find sin attractive. No one accepts atonement for himself who still accepts sin as a goal. Sin in A Course in Miracles is defined as just lack of love. You have thus not met your one responsibility. Atonement is not welcome by those who prefer pain and destruction. There is one thing that you have never done. You have not utterly forgotten the body. It has perhaps faded at times from your sight, but it has not yet completely disappeared. You are not asked to let this happen for more than an instant, yet it is an instant that the miracle of atonement happens. One second. Afterwards, you will see the body again, but never quite the same. And every instant that you spend without awareness of it gives you a different view of it when you return. At no single instant does the body exist at all. It is always remembered or anticipated, but never experienced just now. Only its past and future makes it seem real. Time controls it entirely, for sin is never wholly in the present. In any single instant, the attraction of guilt would be experienced as pain and nothing else, and would be avoided. It has no attraction now. Its whole attraction is imaginary and therefore must be thought of in the past or in the future. It is impossible to accept the holy instant without reservation unless for an instant you're willing to see no past and no future. You cannot prepare for it without placing it in the future. Release is given you the instant you desire it. Many have spent a lifetime in preparation and have indeed achieved their instances of success. This course does not attempt to teach you more than they learn in time, but it does aim at saving time. You may be attempting to follow a very long road to the goal you have accepted. It is extremely difficult to achieve atonement by fighting against sin. Enormous effort is expended in an attempt to make holy what is hated and despised. Nor is a lifetime of contemplation and long periods of meditation aimed at detachment from the body necessary. All such attempts will ultimately succeed because of their purpose, yet the means are tedious and very time-consuming, for all of them look to the future for release from a state of present unworthiness and inadequacy. Whoa! Okay, so there are so many practices, right? The Course says all of these modalities will be successful, for that is their purpose. Now, what we really do is we make it really hard for ourselves. Right? We have to go through suffering and pain, and this is why there's so much attraction to, like, in order for us to reach states of enlightenment, we must go through the suffering first. We must go through letting go of, almost like an initiation. And the beautiful thing is that the Course says you really need not do that, right? It's very tedious and time-consuming. For all of these things look to the future for release from a state of present unworthiness and inadequacy. There is a present, like, it's not good enough right now, right? The state that I'm in is not good enough. And so we seek for a release in the future by practicing different things that are serving something in the future rather than trying to serve something now. So we have a lot of practices of that. Now, again, nothing wrong with those. The Course have no judgments against it. The Course's aim here is only to save time. Right? It's not going to teach you any more than that in time, but it's only here to really to save time. Because it points to this one instant where you're not attaching your identity to your body. All fear and all confusion, the Course says, is a misidentification. We misidentify ourselves with our stories, with past experiences, with what somebody else says about us. We misidentify ourselves. We misidentify situations. And some things that are meant to really help us and move us forward in life is seen as, really hard and terrible and not desired. As I'm going through a bunch of different challenges in my own life right now, I'm like, I prefer not to have these things. I prefer for them to be different. See, this is where the peace gets lost. I'm not actually upset at the situation. I'm upset at my interpretation of what is going on in my own life. The challenges that I'm going through. And so a part of me recognizes that I'm witnessing Alex playing out the things that are playing out. And another part of me is living it, is identifying with those things, is identifying failing a marriage, is identifying failing in different areas. And so the pain and the fear comes. And as we remember, and for these reasons why I studied the Course so much, is it's actually in these moments can I get deeper into my studies, into my devotional practices, so that it may be more alive in me and I remember more often than I forget. In the Ramayana, in the Eastern teachings, and I've been studying a lot of those right now these days, going through the 40-day Hanuman Chalisa, Hanuman Sadhana, just learning about some of the Eastern teachings and the deities over there, and the characters of their I guess faith, for lack of a better word. But where was I going with this? Forgot. So one of the characters is Ram, and Ram is the reincarnation of Vishnu. Vishnu is God, spirit, whatever. Really just love and God. Like the Course calls, before anything there was just heaven. There was only this. There was only God, and there's only love. So Vishnu represents that. But since the dream world was created, the world of ego and material was created, Vishnu comes back in reincarnated version as Ram. So kind of like, Jesus. And Hanuman is the monkey king in this world, and he has devoted himself completely to Ram. So, we can say that this is one of Christ's most devoted followers, right? So in that sense. And so Hanuman, is his entire life purpose and mission is to serve Ram. And Ram asked Hanuman, who are you? Who are you? And Hanuman thought about it, and he responded, when I remember, I am you. When I forget, I serve you. Right? So that was, when I read that, I felt really like, okay, well, when I remember, I am love. I am God. I am the witness. I am not misidentified. But when I forget, what is going to anchor me? So when I forget, then I serve love. I serve Christ consciousness. So yeah, that just came up for, I don't know. I was talking about that the other day too. All right, continuing the read. Your way will be different, not in purpose, but in means. A holy relationship is a means of saving time. One instant spent together with your brother restores the universe to both of you. You are prepared. Now you need but to remember you need do nothing. It would be far more profitable now merely to concentrate on this than to consider what you should do. When peace comes at last to those who wrestle with temptation and fight against the giving into the sin, When the light comes at last into the mind given to contemplation, or when the goal is finally achieved by anyone, it always comes with just one happy realization: I need do nothing. Here is the ultimate release, which everyone will one day find in his own way, at his own time. So this is the ultimate release. Everyone will find this. This should give us the I need do nothing part. Like if we can just contemplate on this thing, ultimate release, or learning, or whatever you wish upon other people to get, right? The ultimate release, which everyone will one day find in his own way, at his own time. So I don't have to go and force my Course of Miracles teachings on others, right? I don't need to do all that. I don't need them to get it now. I don't need them to be kind right now. I don't need them to all that stuff, because everyone is going to find it in their own way at their own time. You do not need this time. Time has been saved for you because you and your brothers are together. This is the special means this course is using to save you time. You're not making use of the course if you insist on using means which have served others as well, neglecting what was made for you. Saving time for me by owning this one preparation and practice, doing nothing else. I need do nothing is a statement of allegiance, a truly undivided loyalty. Believe it for just one instant and you will accomplish more than it is given to a century of contemplation or a single or of struggle against temptation. To do anything involves the body, and if you recognize you need do nothing, you have withdrawn the body's value from your mind. Here is the quick and open door through which you slip past centuries of effort. Centuries of effort and escape from time. This is the way in which sin loses all attraction right now. For here is time denied and past and future gone. Who needs to do nothing has no need for time. To do nothing is to rest and make place within you where the activity of the body ceases to demand attention. Into this place the Holy Spirit comes and there abides. He will remain when you forget and the body's activity returns to occupy your conscious mind. Yet there will always be this place of rest to which you can return, and you will be more aware of this quiet center of the storm than all its raging activity. This quiet center in which you do nothing will remain with you, giving you rest in the midst of every busy doing on which you are sent. For from this center, you will be directed how to use your body sinlessly. It is this center from which the body is absent that will keep it so in your awareness of it. So the Course right now is inviting us to this possibility that when I need do nothing, this idea of I need do nothing fills us, occupies us in the moment, then we have found this place, this garden inside ourselves, our altar, our temple of stillness and calm, and we can always find that in us. All we really need is for this one moment of realization of calm and peace, that we really need do nothing. Right? So just think about somebody that, I don't know, triggers you, a situation in which you're upset at right now. And just notice how perhaps you've been giving so much of your mind and attention and energy and your well-being to this thing. How much it occupies our mind, that we just prefer this person or this situation to be something other than it is. Because somehow, if that was so, then it would bring more peace to us or something. And the problem with that is temporarily, maybe it would bring us some peace, just temporarily. But really, what we're trading off See, if we understood what it is that we're trading, if what we're trading off is now I lose my peace more often, right? Because every time I demand something outside of me to bring me peace, I have given power over to something outside, and me doing that actually just will create more of that. More and more, my power is gone. I'm trading. I'm giving my sovereignty and my power over every time for temporary satisfaction, temporary, returns, I guess we can call it. But if we really recognize what it is that we're trading, we'll stop trading that. This weekend in our live event, I was talking about if you realize that every time you gave $100, you only got $1 back, you would stop doing that immediately. And we simply just need to see the way that we have been behaving and what we have been trading. So, yeah, I love to just open it up now for any thoughts, questions, things that are coming up. And maybe we'll bring some more, evoke some more teachings of the Course. Anything that you may want to understand or dive deeper into, situations in your life perhaps that can help guide this conversation somewhere.
Alex, I really like what you were talking about when he said, I don't remember the name, but he said, when I remember I am you, when I forget, I am your server, right? Something
Yeah,
like that.
I serve you. Yeah.
I serve you. So I thought that's the real work for me, like remembering,
Yeah. Well,
awareness, remembering.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's really powerful too, because I mean, Hanuman just represents like the potential we have to be a devotee to love. And so when we like pray and when we talk to spirit and God, and we can just say like, this is a reminder for us. When I remember who I am love already. I need to be nothing more. I am you. But when I forget, when I am in my storm, when I forget, when things are too crazy, then I serve you. And service is our way back to remembering. So yeah, thank you for highlighting that once again. What else? Where else can we go today? Remember, we
So
are...
would you
Yeah.
say,
Yes.
okay, what's coming to me is like, okay, I'm either stressed and occupying my mind with worry and fear, and I want to turn that into pleasure and peace, or I'm serving, or I'm remembering. Like,
Yeah.
I'm looking at those stages I go through the day.
So here's the thing. It's not... If you prefer something else, right? Like all of our loss of peace is not because we're experiencing anything specific. It's because we prefer something other than what it is. So we're changing our relationships to the challenges and the things that are happening for us, right? So for example, like um, we had somebody take the stage during our event, and she just like completely froze. She froze, and it was very, very tough for her. She kind of got on and off, but right afterwards, like she just like broke down, and for maybe an hour or 2 hours after that, she just couldn't regulate. And it was really hard for her, and so I sat down with her, and what she's upset at is all of the past, right? The past. She's like, this has happened before when I spoke in front of many people. I just, I freeze up. I'm not good at that. And just all the stories of it's embarrassing and I wanted to be like this and it didn't happen the way I wanted to. And just like kind of spiraling a little bit, and I shared with her, I was like, hey, let's future pace a little bit. Right? Think about the future. There's gonna be a moment where you are amazing. You're delivering amazing content and moving people and inspiring people, and you get to share this one story, which is going to make you so much more relatable, because everybody suffers from this, like, we think we have to look good when we first start, and that you are going to be so grateful that you can pull a story from your past of being messy, of sucking, to be able to really land that for little the little version of you in the future when you're speaking to an audience. And we started to look at all the other things we can be grateful for. She wasn't sure. She thought it was, not, like, we would be too busy to be there for her, to go through this stuff. She's like, oh, I thought it was just kind of like more business, not like relational. And so we went much deeper into our relationship with each other. And I'm like, look at all the blessings that come as a result of this. So it's, when we're upset, we're just not able to see the lessons, the teachings, the opportunities that are right in front of us, that the lesson actually stands for. But we see it from a place of like, I'm a victim to it. It's making me weaker. Tasnova's here. Bum, 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 bum. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're never really upset for the reason that we think. That's the real beauty and challenging part for the ego. The ego's like, well, this person screwed me over, or that person was mean and I failed, I'm not good enough. All of those things are just one way of looking at something. And so the Course says, if you were, I mean, we read it a couple of sections ago, if you can tell the difference between truth and illusions, or truth and perception, then you wouldn't even need the Course. You wouldn't need a guide. You wouldn't need transformational work. You wouldn't need to read. We wouldn't need Jesus. We wouldn't need the Holy Spirit. We wouldn't need anything. If we just knew the difference between truth and illusions. Now, the illusions is, this young woman freezing up on stage and what she made up about it. It's embarrassing and all the stuff that she made up, while everyone else in that was there just was so inspired by her courage. Because we were on the day, the theme was courage. And we landed it over and over. You know how hard it is to stand up in front of 75 people and speak something that is important on your heart. It is hard. For me, that day, I was like, courage. Like, what's calling me into courage? These breakthrough events are so powerful because it's not just for the attendees that are there. Us as facilitators, like, we're going through it too. And it was really emotional and hard for me this week, going through it. There was many times that in between sessions, I was just like, I was breaking down, like crying in the back. But it made it so much more raw, and made the event there's so much like intensity and passion in the event. Like, people were really, really giving it their level 10 energy too. It was super, super powerful and amazing. So yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Vivette. This I need do
No,
nothing
that's,
is yeah.
I know it's not easy. Being on stage, the only thing that gets me on stage is telling myself, this is not about you.
Mm-hmm.
This is about them. And you are, you're just an instrument, and through the message is coming through you. That's the only thing that gets me on stage, because if I start looking at me, the risk of making a mistake, pronouncing something wrong, or, just being
Mm-hmm.
Yvette, I forget it. I won't get out stage. But
Yeah.
yeah, remembering that I'm an instrument and I'm here to serve a message and a purpose, and that's the only thing. Really, that's where my courage comes in, and I breathe in, and so my all my admiration to you, because it's not only just getting on stage and giving just any talk. It's talking about deep, vulnerable um, things with a lot of emotion, and sharing yourself openly
Mm.
on those themes is, I think it's the hardest things, like getting naked in front of everybody. So all my admiration for you, and it's good to hear that you were very sensitive when you were speaking. So you were very much in your heart,
Yeah.
and that's what I really like about you and your program and all your community, that we can come in with all of ourselves, not just a mind or a heart. It's the whole thing, the messiness and everything. So thank you for being here, for
Yeah.
creating this space.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your sharing the question and the yeah. When we can remove ourselves, that's that's where also clarity comes. Just like get out of the way, you know? Like can you be an instrument? Can we be an instrument? Can we just be a vessel? And so let's get out of the way. Let's get out of our own way. What else? What else is alive for us?
I have a question. And you said get out of, don't worry about how you look. So I'm gonna come on
Mm-hmm.
video in my Sunday wear. My question in it, I get glimpses of understanding this, so I think it'd be interesting to hear your take on it. Is the difference between a lifetime of contemplation and long periods of meditation aimed at detachment from the body, they're not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, we're being told you need not do anything. So I think I'm getting confused on what the doing is, right? It's not about sitting down and doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The doing nothing is in our head.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you understand where my confusion gets a little bit, and I get glimpses of what it really means? Because it's not saying don't do anything and don't be, we're called to be, you know, contributors to society. It's not don't do anything. That is the doing we should do. I don't know. See
Right.
where I get confused. I'm
Yes.
so in my head
No,
sometimes.
this is great. This is actually exactly why students of the course, this is one of the hardest things to grasp. The course is not saying don't take action. The course is not saying don't, show up for people and don't care about anything. The course is not saying any of that. The course is saying the need to do something. The course is not anti-action. There's action here. You do 365 lessons in 365 days. There's action, right? It's the egoic efforts that we have. And what I mean by that is like I think I know what would be best if I did something. Right? This action, this need to do something, the need part, let's just emphasize this need. Right? Like this need for action is an egoic thing. Because you just muted yourself.
I know. I
Yeah.
said something to Connor.
Oh, all right. So this need to do something, right? This need. What do you mean need? Like, why do you need? What is this need? To achieve what with this need, right? This will become an egoic things like, wait, but I need this to happen this way so that I can experience peace. See how it just turned immediately to this like egoic thing that is actually disempowering. So if we just try to come up with an example, what does that mean? I
Yeah.
need. What does that mean? I need, right? What's this need? If we can come up with an example of like, what do we need? What is the action that we need to take? See, the whole thing is any need that you think you have is really to serve the body, is to make the body the master. So it serves the body. So the body is an end, not a means to an end. See, the purpose of the body is to teach us, is to be a learning device. The Course says that's a correct perception of the body. But if the end is the body, then death is real. Then we misidentify. We misidentify who we really are with the body that exists here, with this meat suit. So when we remember, we are remembering beyond the body. When we forget, we are in the body, and then we serve so that we can remember. All right, there is and many, almost all great philosophies are, I don't know, great, but like there's a lot of philosophy and teachings in the religions and everything that teaches about this, basically this witness, this being of ourselves that is not of this body. And throughout history and throughout human history, there's so many different symbols representing that, and figures of different gods and goddesses that really is all representing this removal of our current egoic identity. So this need to do nothing, I need do nothing, but not to interfere. Right? And how do we interfere? We interfere by defending, attacking, analyzing, forcing reality, forcing clarity, forcing things. Like this force. Like somehow if I did this, it would speed up the timeline to what? Right? And then if the ego continues to go down this rabbit hole, we can look into the past. Right? We're looking into the past. Oh, well, if nobody did things here, then this wouldn't have happened. Then Hitler would have taken over the world, or Genghis Khan would have taken over the world, and just like, okay, well, so what if they did? Where do you think the world would be then? Right? So we have this like, oh, we need to do things, and we try to call into the past by collecting evidence, which we don't even know if that was the best path. Who knows? So we make it up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, at the beginning, I'm glad you brought that up because at the beginning there was something about this moment or something like the now doesn't exist. It's something about the past and the future. I I could try and find it.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like it was at the beginning, and that was a little bit confusing because we talk about being in the now, but it was like there is no now, it's all about the past and the future.
It's funny that the ego
You
hears
remember
that.
that?
It's funny that the ego hears that because it says owning its past and future make it seem real. So it's what's real for us when we look to the past and when we look to the future. That's what makes the body seem real. Makes the physical form seem real when we look into the
Oh,
past.
so
and
it's
the
not
future.
about the moment.
No,
They're talking about
It's the
making the
opposite of what
body
you
seem
actually said.
real.
Yeah, it's the opposite of what you're saying is we look to the past and the future to make this thing real, more real. But in the holy instant, there is only one moment in which the awakening and the healing happens. There is
No
only
wonder I was.
one, yeah, only one moment matters. And we will, for all of us, there will be points in our lives where we will have that experience of a moment of clarity, of connection, of oneness with everything. Many times it's with nature, when we're out in nature and we're just stunned and wowed by nature. Like when you're out in, maybe recently for me, it was Zion, just being out there and just like connected to the entire thing. Right? Moments of like, wow, how tiny this body of this Alex, this identification of Alex really is to the universe, And for those brief moments, like clarity comes, and it's all we really need, and we can draw upon that. And that's what the Course is saying. Like, you will come back, but you won't come back and see your body the same again. When you just have those moments. And those moments are a continuous practice of, I need do nothing. Like being in this contemplation. It says, I need do nothing is a statement of allegiance, of truly undivided loyalty. When you declare, I need do nothing, you're saying, the universe, God, love, something is already being done. What is it that I need to do? I'm giving complete allegiance over to the Holy Spirit and God to allow the will of God to be done and for me to be okay and aligned with it. So now I'm aligning my will to the will of God, and that is our function, and that is when that connection is there, all peace reign over us. There is no situations and obstacles. And as I'm just like envisioning that for myself right now, the biggest challenges in my life, I'm just like, oh, I can see them clearer. I can see my path clearer. See, like, wow, all of this happening in my life so that I may be of service to others, to be more compassionate, to my capacity to grow even bigger, to hold more people and to bring community and to bring more people together. I'm being initiated and called to doing something big in Las Vegas here. I need the initiations. I need these things to be able to create and expand my capacity, to be able to serve more people. Wow, in that space, I can see why all of this is needing to happen for me, right? So I am the source. I am the flow. I am exactly the calling, right? I'm being it. So in this moment, as we're even speaking, like I can see aligning my will to the will of God and the will of Spirit. And it's bringing like excitement. There's energy. I can feel the energy of clarity flowing through me right now. But you know what? After this call, I may forget and go put my head under a pillow. Right? But these are moments of remembering. How long can we anchor it in? And with community, with you guys witnessing and being here, we will remember for each other. When I forget, you remember. When you forget, I remember. In isolation, we will go down a dark path. Isolation is the way of the ego. And the way of the ego is to create more conflict, is to cloud your mind even more so that you can't see the path in front of you. And we're like, oh, I need to go into isolation. Like I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want all of this. Like I don't want to share vulnerably. I don't have the courage to do so. Whatever it is. Right? Because somehow that feels draining. That feels like we have to do. But what I've realized is if I want to accomplish anything, I need to do it in a group setting. I need accountability. I need people to hold me through that. And yeah, thanks for that question. Somehow it's just really brought this energy of clarity for me.
Wow. That was really powerful. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm kind of curious, how do you tie that to business as well? Because we need to do stuff in our business. And yet I see times and places where doing or allowing for the space for it to grow and expand is even more powerful. So I feel like there's a balance there in terms of that willingness and doing.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The Course says the fact that you are trying to create a separate situation now, right? We make another form. We're like, well, what about that form? What about that? If we need to do it there, but not here. See, the ego's like, oh, yeah, okay, I get you, Alex. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. Oh, but let's go over here. In this situation, it's now different. See, the ego wants to fight for it. Just going to find another place to do so. Business is not separate. There is nothing that is separate. All things are weaved and connected into one. Business is just one vehicle in which we get to do this practice again. Because what's the point? The need to do this so that what? We can make more money? But what is this need? Like, what's the need for money? Right? And now we spiral. We just continue to spiral into this need. And we're like, wait, do I actually need that at the end of the day? Like, am I not supported? Because if we go down, actually, I'm going to do this. Oh, man, this is a great exercise. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to do this exercise of this, like, need for something. And if we didn't have it, what would happen? Well, I remember being in these trainings, and it's like, okay, well, if you don't have this, and then what? It's like, oh, well, then I can't pay the bills. And it's like, oh, well, then what? Oh, then I'm going to be out on the streets. Oh, and then what? Then I get sick and I lose my leg. And I'm like, and then what? I mean, you go down this rabbit hole. It's like, wait, that sounds completely insane, you know? So,
Yeah.
also, like, it's just, if we align our will, right, to that of God's, like, all things will be placed in front of us exactly what we need. You know, perhaps it's a shift in a pivot in business because something else is opening right in front of you. But if we're like, I need to do this only, and then I'm just like stuck down this path. And most of the times, this need to do something comes from a place of scarcity, and we're trying to fill some type of gap. And as we try to fill a gap, the gap just gets bigger and bigger, and we just do the same thing again. And we have this cycle of just like, oh, I put more energy in, and then this happens temporarily, and then now I'm stuck in this loop, right? Rather, perhaps there's literally an opportunity sitting right here on this, right next to you, and we can't see it because I'm like, I need to go do this. And it's like, can we withdraw this need, like our need? And that requires, this is why the Course says it's an ultimate allegiance, right? It's undivided loyalty, which is saying, I don't know. I need do nothing. I let it come, right? There was a moment on day 2, and I shared the video of me playing the guitar in front of everybody on the second day. Opening the day was our dear sister Luna and Larome that was talking about voice activation. You know, they were doing a thing on voice activation. They did something that was a mirror work exercise. And the day's theme was courage. And for some reason, I had just decided I need to bring the guitar that day, like in my car. And a part of me, it's like, okay, I'm doing a piece on A Course in Miracles, like in the beginning, opening the day, so like I sometimes do. And it just was very clear. I was like, you should go play this song. Because I had just gone to this kirtan here in Vegas, and I was like, oh, you know, I think I definitely have some songs that I can play and lead some kirtans. But I never done it. I never like had the courage really to even sing in front of people besides in like small settings. And it was very clear to do so. And I was like, I don't know about all that. And I just grabbed my guitar and walked to the front anyways. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I'm bringing my guitar to just hold myself accountable more. And maybe there is a chance I will do it. And I did it. And it was just super powerful. Thank you, Sonia. Yeah, it was it was beautiful. But in that moment, what I learned was we can listen better, you know. And I prayed for myself in that moment that this year coming up, can things show up in that way, and I just listen and I do without the overanalyzing and overthinking. When something comes through to me, just do it, whether it's in business, whatever it is, anything that's happening in the moment. And just be a better listener, and then being able to act immediately from there without all the hesitation and overthinking. Because it's like, how can I put it? It's kind of like if you're trying to get on beat with something. Like, if I don't know if anybody like tries to tap along to music or anything like that. If you're trying to stay on beat, the moment you think, you're already a beat behind, right? And it's just like life. The moment you go and overthink, you're a beat behind to what is being called forth in this moment right now. So can I really get rid of that lag time, right? What's calling for me in this moment? Boom, go do it. And if I feel like an idiot, I don't have time to go think about that, because there's another moment that's calling me now. And then can I live like that? So this year, is the year of the fire horse, which is about passion, speed, courage. There's no stagnation. So for me, like, let me right now prepare myself to be able to operate from that level of clarity and energy. And from this space, can I burn all the things that don't serve me in any past moments, so that I can show up more fully, and then inspire and remind and lead everybody into the same practice.
I want to remind you that you opened today with talking about all the things that had to occur for us to be here. And none of that, the dinosaurs, you threw that out. None of that we had control of. None of that we had a say in. But all of those things, making Zoom and making MacBook Pros and stuff, none of that I had a part in, but they all are part of what was me being able to be here today.
Yeah. I mean, just wow, right? I mean, if we just think about, like, wow. Me thinking I need to do anything while the entire world is literally doing everything so that I can be here in this moment.
That's so cool.
Like,
Full
crazy.
circle moment there for me.
Seriously, yeah. So if we can just be in this, like, wow moment, right? We live our life just wow. Wow, I can't believe we're here. That's the energy. That's the energy of this year. My 2026 word. One of them, I guess. Wow. Okay, who else? What are you hearing? What is alive? What is wanting to be shared? What's wanting to come through right now?
Just happy to have the opportunity to have seen your vision down here in Vegas, and just believing in the vision that God's giving you through Mother Earth. And what a blessing that myself and so many beautiful human beings were able to help anchor that prayer and that vision that you're receiving right now. I really do wish for that to manifest for you and for this legendary tribe that you've been such a big part of. And I just want to sprinkle some extra magic and miracles and positive intentions and thoughts and feelings towards your vision that you're receiving, because I know what it's like to receive a massive vision and how much that can consume somebody in a really meaningful way. And just like, thanks for showing us what your vision is, bro. And may we all anchor and hold that down for each other.
Thank you. That was really fun. I mean, we brought like 75 people down to Fremont. It was an insane time that we had last night. Oh man. Yeah, really beautiful. Really grateful for our tribe. So many funny things. Yeah, thank you for that share. Who else? Who else? What else? We are almost done with chapter 18. Wow, look at that. Chapter 19 goes into the attainment of peace. So perhaps what we can do is kind of move a little bit into a self exercise. If we don't have any, if anybody wants to share anything, feel free to do so right now. Otherwise, we'll move into maybe like a little reflection exercise for yourselves. All right. So just kind of take a moment and think about what's been going on in this last couple days of your life. Has there been anything that you feel the urge like you need to do something? Like perhaps like an urge to over describe something or to over explain something. The urge to fix something. You know, this maybe the urge for somebody to get you, for them to respond in a text message or a phone call or paying you back. Is there an urge for something like this restlessness? Something occupying your mind. And it's hard. You know, we want to do so many things and we have this urge. So what is this urge that perhaps you have? And this I need do nothing is really the Course saying you do not need to follow that urge. It's okay to let your mind rest and let peace do what effort can't do. All right, so this urge, let's calm our urge today, even if it's just one thing. So we can think about something that's going on, or we can allow something to show up today and remember of this urge to say this to this person or for them to respond. And it's going to come. We're going to have many urges throughout the day. I need to say something to this person. It needs to happen now. Right? Whatever urge that is. Just calm it. You know, even if it's just like 10 minutes, like give yourself 10 minutes. Like, doesn't need to happen right now. For the next 10 minutes, I am going to let peace do what effort could never do. And just allowing yourself to feel into, you know, that energy. And the request of Marianne Williamson, A Day of Miracles, we can do that right now also. This is a good one right here. Day 130. I'm making love the bottom line. The probability vectors for the next 20 years are disturbing. Humanity is like the Titanic headed for iceberg. Whether the iceberg is weather catastrophic brought about by global warming, nuclear disaster brought about by our reckless use of nuclear energy, or shortage of food or water supply, if looked at only through a rational lens, it could be argued that in all probability, one way or another, our goose is cooked. But we have but we have more than a rational lens through which to look. For a spiritual perspective broadens not only the quality of our perspective, but also the quality of our choices. That is the invitation of this moment in history, to step out of the confines of the limited, mechanic, fear-based thinking that now dominates our civilization. The human race has reached a crossroads. Continue to think and act as we've been thinking and acting, thus repeating the consequences of a loveless, reckless way of being, or break through the highest calling of life on earth to make love our new bottom line, thus creating the miracles that will save us from our own self-destructive ways. Wow. Marianne Williamson is seriously out of control with her writing. I'm going to take a picture of this. I feel like I need to read that again, I'll just whether catastrophe brought about by global warming, nuclear disaster brought about by our reckless use of nuclear energy, or shortage of food and water supply, if looked at only through a rational lens, it could be argued that in all probability, one way or another, our goose is cooked. I mean, just look at the world today. Look at what's being shown on Facebook and all the things that are happening. It just seems like, yeah, we are going down a pretty crazy path, no? What number? 130. We're going down a path that just feels like we're going to destroy ourselves, no? Yeah, so, but good. Thank God we have more than a rational lens to look through. For spiritual perspective broadens not only the quality of our perspective, but also the quality of our choices. This is an invitation to this moment in history. Right? This book was written at a time that other things were happening. Today we got different problems, different forms of problems with the same things, but step out of the confines of the limited, mechanic, fear-based thinking that now dominates our civilization. The human race has reached a crossroads. We can continue to think and act as we have been thinking and acting, thus repeating the consequences of a loveless, reckless way of being, or break through the highest calling for life on earth to make love our new bottom line, thus creating the miracles that will save us from our own self-destructive ways. Wow. Amen. Aho. Thoughts? What number is this reading you just gave? Yeah, 130 in the book called A Year of Miracles by Marianne Williamson. Oh, let's see what today's lesson is, shall we? Also, for those of you guys that perhaps want to start, I'm just going to shout this one out again, is if you are doing if you want to do the lessons, right? The course says all this text is great. Us doing Wednesday and Sunday calls are great. However, we need a everyday practice. So the course creates a workbook for us, 365 lessons for 365 days. And we have created a group, an accountability group, one in which I post a video every day for the lesson. I do a little reading. I study a little. It's just to give ourselves 5 to 7 minutes to do an everyday practice so that the course says it's the acquisition of peace in our lives, right? It's very, very, it's just exercises and practices to do every day. Very, very simple things. So that is, if you're interested in joining that group, let me know. It is a 111 donation for the year. And yeah, we just keep each other accountable and encourage each other to do it. Super beautiful. So today on lesson number 10, we will be going through my thoughts do not mean anything. And yesterday was I see nothing as it is now. Lesson number, you know what? I should probably just start from the beginning. That way it makes more sense. So lesson 1 was nothing I see in this room means anything. Lesson number 2 is I have given everything in this room all the meaning it has for me. Lesson number 3 is I do not understand anything I see in this room. 4 is these thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room. So first we're identifying physically the things that are in the room. I'm giving all the meaning to it. Then the Course is inviting us into our own thoughts. Oh, my thoughts are like the things in this room, right? So it's starting to unify the material and the mind into one. And then lesson number 5 comes in, one of the, just like, psh, it goes, I'm never upset for the reason that I think. Oh man, I'm upset. I'm upset because I see something that is not there. See how there's like this slow moving transition, even in the first 6 lessons? And then the Course moves into, I see only the past. Oh, okay. That's why I'm never upset for the reason I think. That's why I'm upset because I see something that is not there, because I see only the past. Now, and then it moves into my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. Okay, so my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see only the past. I'm upset right now because I see something that is not there. I'm upset right now because I'm looking at the past. And then, I see nothing. I see nothing as it is now. And, starting to really invite us to the present moment where all the healing actually happens. And then today's lesson is my thoughts do not mean anything. So, there is this just like kind of, by the time we get to lesson 155, we're now at like, I will step back and let him lead the way. And so see, this is literally every single day as we just like awaken ourselves into our own truth, into the truth. And then 182 goes into, I will be still an instant and go home. 190 goes into, I choose the joy of God instead of this pain. And as we go further into the lessons, day 227, this is my holy instant of release, and then just becomes like prayers. It becomes guides and prayers. I'll just kind of read 227. Says, Father, it is today that I am free because my will is yours. I thought to make another will, yet nothing that I thought apart from you exists, and I am free because I was mistaken and did not affect my own reality at all by my illusions. Now I give them up and lay them down before the feet of truth to be removed forever from my mind. This is my holy instant of release. Father, I know my will is one with yours. And so today we find our glad return to heaven, which we have never really left. The Son of God this day lays down his dreams. The Son of God this day comes home again, released from sin and clad in holiness, and with his right mind restored to him at last. So this is just like we're moving more and more, and then it starts to drop in some lessons, right? Some teachings. Yes.
Hey, thank you so much.
Someone just said Alex. Oh, Christine. Oh. Yeah. So then it starts to bring in some actual teachings, like what is forgiveness, what is salvation, what is the body, what is the last judgment. It's all part of the lessons. What is a miracle, and what am I? And then the final lesson. Our final lesson will be left as free of words as possible. Yet it's, many words. It's just, the last 4 lessons is really the same, which is kind of cool. And then after that, I think maybe next year, January 1st, I'm going to start a manual for teachers program. So, the prerequisite would be to go through the 365 lessons, and we'll go through a manual for teachers program, which is really a manual for students of the course. It's just deeper devotion and deeper practice to being the miracle worker, which is just extending this message outwards through demonstration, through our service. you know? So, yeah. We have a little more time. Anybody want to share anything else? Anything else happening, coming up for anybody? Mikhail, you just keep unmuting your phone. All right. So, yeah, we will be back on. Yeah, thank you. We'll be back on Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah, and just really beautiful. Glad you guys are. Thank you for hopping on this call today. I feel personally, one thing I'm taking away from this call, and you guys can also just anchor something in for yourself from this call, right? We're not just going to walk away like, oh, yeah, that was great, that was fun. But anchor something in for yourselves now, right? Like what was something powerful that you can take away from the call for you? Like why were you here? Why did you attend this call? Right? This is just for a little bit of reflection and something that we can carry forth into the rest of the day. For me, it's, wow, this experience, this feeling of I need do nothing. There's no urge to do something. If I need nothing, then do you need do nothing? This is my loyalty, my undivided loyalty right now to the path, to the way, to God. And just aligning my will to the will of God, and all the little challenges there's tiny, right? The stuff that physical form Alex has to deal with is freaking tiny to all that is of creation that is wanting to come through. Let me listen. Let me remove my own blockages and obstacles. Let me pray more and listen more. And I feel the energy moving through me. And I want to anchor that in, as I get off this call and then probably have to deal with some other stuff again. Hold me to that. Go ahead, Ken. Or Donna.
It's Donna, you know that.
Again.
Well, at the event during the board break, I was having trouble breaking the board with my hand, and my hand was getting really sore. So, I was talking to Josh, and I was feeling like, oh my God, how am I going to get this done? And he's like, you don't have to do anything. Like, you need not do anything. So it's like the same message that you shared. He's like, well, how attached are you to breaking this board? I'm like, I'm not that attached. He's like, okay, good. That's a good start. And then he stacked up some boards on the floor, and I was able to step on it and break the board. So that was cool.
Oh,
but yeah,
that's so smart. Josh is so smart. That's great.
Yeah,
because we did have somebody not break the board either. So, but the board will always give the message that you need.
You need not do nothing.
Yeah. You need not
and
do nothing. That's a double negative.
That you're unbreakable.
Wait, hold on. That's a double negative into I need do something.
No, you need. I don't know. How did you say it? I do not. Say it again. So
I need do nothing.
Oh, I need do nothing. All right.
I need not do nothing. It's a double negative. Wow, that's so interesting. That's really funny. The ego's like, gotcha. What else? Who else has something that you feel like I didn't even notice? Yeah, it's very language. We talked about at the event, words, very specific, and I get to be more intentional too and slowing it down because I move really fast and I speak fast sometimes, and I'm like, whatever, the words just come out, but it's to bring more intentionality to each word, because words are the spells, why we talked about the hypnosis, like during the hypnosis show. Like, words are spells, and we literally hypnotize ourselves every single day. So really beautiful. Double negatives, yeah, seriously. I need not do nothing. Oh, you mean I need to go do things then? Amazing. That was funny. Okay, what else? Any other thoughts? We got about 8 more minutes. We can use it or we cannot. We need not use all the time. Alrighty then. Well, that's it. That's all, folks. Going once, going twice. Okay.
Thanks, Alex.
Have a great day.
Yes.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Alex.
All right. Much blessings, everybody.
Love you, Alex.
Love you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.